so dirty?
I don't know.
They are so dirty, everybody. They're dirty.
Good morning!
Good morning, everybody. Good
How's
morning.
everybody on this hump day?
These are so fuzzy. I can't see it on my own glasses.
You guys, it's been a hot minute since we reminded you that if you have not stocked up on an emergency supply of food, you might want to do that, even if you're not like Mr. or Mrs. Prepper Pants. It's always a good idea to be somewhat prepared for a disaster or an emergency. And having food, emergency food that lasts and stores for 25 years and is still tasting delicious, it's just a really good idea. And you can get a huge discount on a 3-month emergency food kit from our BFFs at My Patriot Supply if you visit PREPAREWITHTHECHICKS.com. PREPAREWITHTHECHICKS.com. $150 off a 3-month
That's really
emergency
good.
food kit. Yeah, it's really good.
Really,
and it's
really
just,
good.
You feel so secure, right? Like, you know, it's there and you're just like, that's one less thing I got to worry about.
Universal sign for feeling secure is this.
Right.
This is the universal sign.
Feel secure.
Right. That's it right there. You guys, and also don't forget to check out the insiders and the locals pages. You should do that because yesterday I posted a little video of my family room, or actually my little living room and my kitchen, little bonus bedroom with a extra credit, like a really super important question. If you can answer at the end of the video, you get bonus extra points. It was a little extra credit. Some people got it right. I was really impressed with some of our insiders and our locals folks because they got the question right at the end of the video.
Well, and they only get a chance to answer that question if they are Facebook insiders or locals supporters. So listen, you can follow our regular Facebook page. You can be a member of our regular locals page, but only if you are an insider on Facebook and if you are a supporter on locals will you get exclusive content. So if you want to check those two places out, you can. The Facebook insiders group you can find right from our main Facebook page. There's a button that says become a supporter or become an insider or something like that. And you click that and that'll get you into the insiders group. On locals, you just go to chicksontheright.locals.com and you can choose to be a supporter. If you're a member, you can still see all the things, but supporters see exclusive content that is only available to them. So if you're interested in either of those things, we recommend that you check them out because it's awfully, awfully fun. Thank you, Autumn. Autumn says, so happy to watch you live today. Love, love, love your house, Daisy.
Oh,
Autumn's
thank you.
She's an insider supporter.
Thank you, Autumn. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Let's get to some news, if we could. First of all, Kamala has the Rona. She's got herself a case of the coronavirus.
She has the coronavirus. No symptoms. They say she's asymptomatic.
And they're just going to keep her at home and hidden. It's just one more reason to keep her out of the public eye, I think.
Okay, so listen, I know we should probably just move on and not talk about this, okay? But this is a weird thing with me and the coronavirus. It has been from the very beginning, where people just test willy-nilly. People just test all the time. And then they're like, hey, listen, I have no symptoms, but I have this. Hi. Just want everybody to know that I feel great, but I have this. And I just want everybody to know, hi, I have it. I tested positive, but nothing to see here. I have no symptoms, but I just want everybody to know that I have this. Hi. What is that? Like, what is that?
Well, I'm very, very glad that you asked that question specifically.
Really? You are?
I am.
Okay.
I am, because it's the perfect segue into an explanation from Jen Psaki herself on why that testing happens. It turns out they have a testing cadence.
Okay. Like, oh.
There's
you get tested. Okay. Like, that's what it is. So it's like, they just kind of like, it's a cadence and then you get tested. Okay.
They have a cadence now. So it's a cadence that you just need to know is above and beyond all the CDC recommendations, because of course, since Kamala has it and she's been like astronomically boosted in every way. Like she's had all the boosters. So, Psaki obviously got questions about this, and she maintains that at the White House, they go way above and beyond their normal CDC recommendations because they also have a cadence. They have a cadence. Listen.
So there have been no discussions, and you don't expect that?
Oh, I think it's important to remember that we have stringent protocols here that go over and above CDC recommendations, even as it relates to how long you stay at home if you test positive. So individuals who test positive for here, and I can speak to this 2 times over, there you go. You don't return to work until you have received a negative test. If that is before 10 days, you are still going to be masking. That is beyond what CDC protocols are. There's a regular testing cadence. Obviously, the vice president was tested this morning because of that regular testing cadence.
That's why. It's because of the cadence.
It's just, we're just so stupid now. We're so stupid. Okay, so it's the cadence.
It's the cadence.
The cadence, you guys. Yeah.
Did you not know that? Did you not know about?
No, I didn't know about the cadence. Thanks for letting me know, Jen. You realize that there's a bunch of Democrats out there. They're going to start naming their kids Cadence because of this.
Please don't give them ideas.
What's your baby's name? Her name is Cadence. I named her Cadence Corona. That's her name. Right. Isn't she cute? Look at her. Her mask. You can't see her face because she's masked up. She's really cute under that mask.
And this is my son, Covidian. So
they're
twins.
They are. They're really cute, aren't they? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, now that we've gotten a little Psaki out of the way, thank you, GCQC. GCQC says, does she know what cadence means? I don't know.
No.
I don't know that she does,
no,
actually. I really don't know that she does.
She doesn't know. She doesn't know what that means. You get tested. I don't know. These people are so weird. Everybody's gone crazy. Everybody's gone crazy in this country. I can't. Okay. All right.
Well, Jen Psaki, I'm just going to get her out of the way because I know people don't like to look at her face any longer than they have to. But remember how somebody asked her yesterday about the fact that Hunter Biden's business associate visited Joe Biden in the White House when he was VP like 19 times.
She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. They're talking about it's just a Hunter Biden here. Right.
So she was asked about it again, and she bristles, man. She does not like this question, but they continue to just try to blow this story off. Look.
Does the president still maintain that he never spoke with his son about his business dealings? And given his point on Eric Schwerin, does he also say that he has never spoken to his son's business partners about his son's business dealings?
He maintains his same statements that he's made in the past. I would say, I know you're referring to Waves records that were released more than 10 years ago. I really don't have more detail or information on them. I'd note that there was a gap when Waves records were not released, but I don't have more information about visits from more than 10 years ago. Go ahead.
I feel like she could find those records in her folders. She could maybe go back.
Just go to that tab. Like if she just goes to the Hunter tab.
If you flip a little bit more, Jen, you can find the information. Just flip some more. Keep flipping.
Keep flipping.
God. What the hell?
Oh my gosh. All right. So no more Psaki. Okay. I got that out of my system. We've all gotten that out of our system. So now we can move on. And we should move on. Unfortunately, I didn't want to talk about this either because you guys, I am so over January 6th, anything related to it. I just can't. And now there's been all this new reporting. This book has come out. And the book accuses Kevin McCarthy of saying that he was going to tell Trump to resign in light of all the January 6th hullabaloo. And then Kevin McCarthy was like, "Nuh-uh, that is total fake news. This happened like late last week, I think." And then audio came out, right? So like Rachel Maddow, I think, was the first to play the audio. And she, of course, had that whole smirky, smug face like, look at what I have this huge scoop. And so they played the audio of Kevin McCarthy very clearly saying to other members of the House congressional of Congress, saying very clearly, I am going to go ahead and ask Trump to resign. And there was all kinds of other leaked audio of him saying things that he has said publicly that he never said. Because Kevin McCarthy is kind of a slime ball. And I'm sorry for Kevin McCarthy fans out there, but especially in light of these new recordings, I think
are there Kevin McCarthy fans out there?
I'm not sure
are there
that
really,
there are.
is there like a fan club out there where they're like, Kevin McCarthy?
Woo!
If there are,
I don't know.
Okay.
That's a little weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
So it's something that's happened. We haven't spent a lot of time on it just because some of these stories, I'm just like, oh my God. But Tucker, I thought, did a nice job of sort of recapping and also reminding us all that Republicans are just as bad and just as corrupt as Democrats a lot of the time. And we should always keep that in mind. So I'll just let him do the little recap.
We're being slightly unfair in that analysis. We do not mean, certainly, to suggest that it's only Democrats who favor censorship for political ends. Republican leaders support it, too. In a phone call reported today by the New York Times, for example, Congressman Kevin McCarthy of California told his close friend Liz Cheney that he hoped the social media companies would censor more conservative Republicans in Congress. Donald Trump, the sitting president, had already been silenced by those companies, but McCarthy wanted the tech oligarchs to do more, to force disobedient lawmakers off the internet. Quote, can't they take their Twitter accounts away too? Those are the tape-recorded words of Congressman Kevin McCarthy, a man who in private turns out sounds like an MSNBC contributor. And yet, unless conservatives get their act together right away, Kevin McCarthy or one of his highly liberal allies like Elise Stefanik is very likely to be Speaker of the House in January. That would mean we will have a Republican Congress led by a puppet of the Democratic Party.
Nice.
So you wouldn't know any of this unless it was leaked. And you can start to see why the people in charge oppose transparency and fervently support censorship on both sides. Why? Because the more you know about them, the less satisfied you're likely to become with their leadership.
So
there you go. There you go. Yeah. These people sure do like power, don't they?
God,
sure do
it's
like
so
power.
Frustrating. Because even if back in the day, Kevin McCarthy, ran for Congress for all the right reasons, I'm starting to wonder if it's even possible to avoid becoming corrupt when you get there. Like, is that even a thing that people can do?
I don't know, because we've seen it, you guys. Like we've seen it personally. We've known people who, I won't name names, but we've seen people who are good people who run for office, or I think are good people who we know personally who have run for office, and then they get into office and you're like, who are you? You know?
And what decisions are you making? What in the world?
Because they get into, it's like a machine. You get into the machine, you get churned in there, and then it's like this giant hot tub of ick. And they get so comfortable and warm, and they start making all these terrible decisions because they're part of the machine. They just become part of this machine. It's like, it's just gross. And you're right. I don't know if people can avoid doing that. I'm assuming there are people that do, because you look at people like Mitch Daniels of Indiana. I'm sorry, but that guy he made the right decisions. He made good decisions. There are good people, I think, and it's very rare to find good people in politics, but they exist. I don't know how they are exempt from the machine, but I don't know how they avoid all the ick, but they're out there. You just got to look for them. But man, there are some weak-minded people that get into politics and they just don't stay the course,
Or they just, they just fall into that trap of buying their own press and of enjoying the power too much, and then they just get corrupted by it.
Right.
And it's too cush of a job. That's the problem.
Right.
If it was really more about public service and it didn't pay, almost $200,000 a year, it would probably be a lot less enticing for people to get into it and to stay in it forever.
Yeah. And you know what they need? A lot of these guys just need balls. They just need.
Wait,
Yeah.
I have them. I have my new little. They need these, you guys.
Oh my God, I have them too. I have them too. Here, mine are in the other room. I got those too.
You don't have to go get them. Oh my God.
I won't get them, but I have them. You know, I have them in the other room because I was showing my mom's friend last night that I got balls. She's almost 80. She was like, oh my God, who gave these to you? And I was showing her, and she was like, these are awesome.
They are awesome.
They are.
Oh, you guys, I wanted to tell you, because I know we've talked about Healthy Cell, and I'm loving all of the comments that I'm seeing from the people who have ordered Healthy Cell, who are trying it, and who are loving Healthy Cell. If you have not heard of Healthy Cell, this is the new and improved way of taking your vitamins and supplements, you guys. If you're looking for a great multivitamin that you want your body to absorb fully, that is not going to happen with a pill or capsule. I'm telling you right now, your body does not absorb all the vitamins and minerals that come from capsules and pills because of all the filler and all the junk that they have to put in there. It doesn't work as well as these amazing gel packs of delicious candy goo. I don't know how they make it taste so good, but it is essentially a bag of goo. You can shoot it, you can mix it into a drink, and it is your daily multivitamin. They also have choices, and we've talked about the Focus and Recall last week that really helps you stay alert, like for your morning meetings or whatever. But also they have Immune Super Boost. And what this does is it actually supports your white blood cells, your immune response, your immune cell activators. It's got all these protective antioxidants in it. This is the stuff that you want to get like for your parents, right? Like for your mom, for Mother's Day, you want to make sure that she is loaded up because this is what helps you get through any kind of cold and flu season. It just gives your immune system a boost. And don't take it from us. Take it from like actual doctors like Dr. Peter McCullough, who is also a very huge proponent of Healthy Cells products. So if you want to try them out, you can get 20% off your first order if you use promo code CHICKS at healthycell.com/chicks.
That's actually a really sweet gift. I would love that as a mother. I'm such a geek though, but I'd love that as a mother. That like some flowers, I'd be like, oh my gosh, and then I'd get hooked on it, and then I'd be like, my kids really love me. They want me to live a long time. Anyways, all right. So also check out our podcast. We did a podcast yesterday that is, I think, really interesting because we talked a little bit about Earth Day last week, and not how ridiculous it is, but just about the ridiculous people that surround Earth Day and all the ridiculousness that surrounds Earth Day. So we dove into that a little bit. So you guys may want to check that out. It's coming out today. So make sure you're subscribed and checking that out.
On any podcasting platform, you guys, wherever you listen to podcasts, there we are. And last week we had talked about like all the crazy shit that the government spends money on. And so it was really funny. I found this video of Senator Kennedy. He's so freaking funny. And you're going to love this clip of him also giving some examples of what the federal government has spent money on. You're going to especially love it because he mentions a Great Dane.
Oh my God. Really?
So, yes. So here we go.
Republican senator in Louisiana who actually respects the American dollar joins us now. Senator Kennedy, the floor is yours.
I would make 3 points, Jesse. Number one, you left some out. I have seen the federal government, for example, give $530,000 to a group called Hookers for Jesus. I have seen the federal government spend $2.1 million for sex education for Ethiopian prostitutes. And I could continue with other examples of spending porn. And every time that Congress allows this to happen, it is as if Congress is taking a Great Dane-sized whiz down the leg of every taxpayer in America.
I love him. I love him. I love that. A Great Danes. That's a big whiz, y'all, because I should know I have 2 Great Danes. It's a huge whiz, a big one.
That's why I knew you would appreciate that especially.
Totally.
Oh my God.
I love him. So
great. Okay, well, still, the biggest news of the week continues to be Elon Musk's takeover of Twitter. And so got a couple of different reaction videos about that. But first of all, I think yesterday Elon Musk started to outline, here's some of the things that I want to do to Twitter. So a couple of things on the list. He wants to get rid of it being an advertising model. And instead, he wants to allow subscriptions. And I don't know how that would work yet. I don't think he's released a lot of details, but he wants to have subscriptions that would allow you to pay for those subscriptions with Dogecoin, which of course is his like troll currency. He wants to have longer tweets, and I suspect that they're going to be 420 characters because of who he is as a person.
Right, exactly.
He wants to fire woke staff, which praise be.
Praise be is right. That is right.
And he wants to get rid of bots, which could potentially involve some mechanism of authenticating people. And so there's some questions and conversations to have about that. Like, do we want to require people to prove their identity in order to participate? That is an open question. I don't know. There's benefits to having anonymity, and then there's obviously cons of having anonymity, because then you get all the bots and the trolls and all that stuff. So that's a conversation that I think he's going to have with many people, and then some decisions are going to be made.
I don't know, because we talked about that a little bit. Like, we sort of touched on that. We talked with Zuby yesterday on his podcast about how anonymity leads to people just being schmucks.
Right.
And so I think that's part of the schmuckness on social media. And so I think that may help a little. I personally feel like making people authenticate who they are will lead to a more human platform. You know, people will just be better. They just will be nice. I don't want to say nicer, but you won't get the schmuckiness. You know, it won't be the 13th circle of hell that it has been. It'll be less of maybe it'll be like just like the 9th circle of hell. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, but it's interesting because I know Zuby was tweeting before we talked to him. He was tweeting about how he does not want there to be, like, even though he said all those things, he also like draws a line at requiring you to prove your identity, like with a passport or with a, you know what I mean, like with ID.
Yeah.
You could authenticate people and prevent bots, I think, by just having some level of CAPTCHA, or, you know what I mean? Like, you can do some things without saying you have to provide a driver's license in order to participate.
But that's still authentic. It's still authenticating though. Yeah,
exactly.
It's still a level of authentication. Right. Which is, I think that's what I'm getting at is making sure that these people are saying I'm a person. I think that it still lends itself to saying that it's a human platform, and people have to prove that. And there's an extra level, you know what I mean? It's not just like getting out there and being a jerk. And I think that will at least prevent a little bit of the crazy out there, the wild, wild west that it is. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. We'll see how far he takes that, because, you know, there's different levels of authentication. Are you asking somebody for a photo ID, or are you just saying you need to prove through this process by answering these questions or whatever that you are an actual person and not a bot?
Yeah.
There's got to be a happy medium in there somewhere. But it was interesting because you and I talked about this yesterday, that Jack Dorsey released a series of tweets totally in support of Elon Musk. And I think that surprised a lot of people. It actually surprised me that I was reading Jack Dorsey's tweets and thinking, yeah, he's right.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, I was like, what's happening right now?
Yeah. I mean, it's like almost as if he is relieved. Like, he's just so relieved that someone has come along and he's going to say what I think he wanted it to be. Like, it's almost like Twitter just got so out of hand. He couldn't handle it. It was like this baby that he just couldn't raise on his own. And Elon's come along and he's like, oh, please just take this, because I can't handle this anymore. I can't deal. That's the impression. That's what I got from that series of tweets. It's like, it's just too big for him now. Too big for Jack.
Yeah.
And too out of control. Yeah. And that's the impression I got. And so, yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of cool that he's like, listen, dude, you're a big businessman that's handled all these companies. I just want to go sit on my moss and pray and eat goat. You know what I mean? So take this. And I think it's cool. I think it's kind of cool that he's sort of willing to say, okay, you take it and see what you can do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's still causing so much chaos, like and there's so many questions too, like a whole big mess of conservative accounts, including ours, saw a huge bump in our following yesterday, like suddenly, right? So some of the bigger accounts were seeing tens of thousands of new followers. We got several hundred new followers all in one day, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like to some degree, it makes some sense that, oh yeah, people are coming back, right? But it doesn't explain the gigantic swing of numbers. And then a whole bunch of liberal accounts lost tons of followers. So nobody quite knows what to make of it. They can explain it in some regards by saying, okay, well, liberals are fleeing, right?
Right.
And then conservatives are coming back. But that doesn't explain the volume of following. It's almost like there was a button flipped, like a switch turned on or back off or whatever at Twitter that like stopped people from being as thwarted and strangled as they have been. So there's all these theories floating around about why that was yesterday.
Which is freaking crazy if that's the case.
I know.
That is crazy. Yeah. Because I mean, it is kind of weird to think that it would just be liberals leaving, conservatives coming. I mean, it makes you kind of wonder, not to be like some weird conspiracy theorist or anything, but it does make you kind of wonder and go, what the heck did they do?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but we've been experiencing so much suppression over the past, since what, like 2016? 2017, we've been experiencing some suppression on Twitter, on Facebook. I mean, on so many socials. We've had a boot on our throats. So many of us have.
Yeah.
And so it is interesting that just in one day we saw a jump like that. That's so weird. It's weird.
Super weird. Well, and it makes you wonder too, like how are the other big platforms going to react to the level of freedom that is expected on Twitter? For example, yesterday, well, we have two stories about TikTok now. First, we have TikTok now, Chicks on Right on TikTok. And so we had a video clip, and it was from one of our live streams where we were talking about, what did we say? We said, the thing about Elon Musk trolling Bill Gates and saying, if you need to get rid of a boner, here's a picture of Bill Gates being the pregnant man emoji. And so our producer posted that little clip on TikTok, and the sound was removed from it with a warning from TikTok saying that we were out of line. Like that was going against community guidelines because we said the word boner, where like 1 million F-bombs are dropped in TikTok videos on the daily. I mean, 1 million. There are some really nasty TikToks out there, but we got docked immediately, right? Like our account's been open for 45 seconds and we're already getting docked. So
well, you know what I have to say about that is China.
I know.
China,
and then so yesterday there was a gal whose TikTok I saw where she was super mad. She's one of those people who are like, I'm leaving Twitter forever because of Elon. And so she called Elon Stalin. She was like, Stalin Musk has taken over Twitter. And I'm just thinking, so I made a TikTok in response to her. And I said, if you're equating Elon Musk to Stalin, open a damn history book. And by the way, if you guys think that anybody is upset that you're leaving TikTok or that you're leaving Twitter, no, nobody's upset. This is the trash taking itself out. That is what I said. Okay, that is it. That's all I said. And I got that video got taken down. That video got removed, and I got a warning on my account just this morning that said, you're bullying and harassing, and this violates our community guidelines. And I'm like, she called a person Stalin for buying a company legitimately. I said it was an example of taking the trash out by itself, and I'm the one that's hit with the violation. What in the hell?
China, man. What have I said about this platform? What have I told you about this platform? It is China. And this is the thing. And women are not supposed to say boner in China. What have I told you? You can't say boner. What? Boner.
Oh my God.
Boner. Boner.
Wow.
Right. You can't say that. it's shame on you. Get back in your house and put your mask on, girly. Right.
Anyway, but it is a question. Like, now that there is going to be all this freedom on Twitter, do you think that the other platforms will pull back a little on how insane they have been about censorship? Will they feel any pressure to do that?
TikTok won't. TikTok will not, because it's China. They won't. They absolutely will not. And there's such a frenzy over there, and everybody loves that platform so much. The young people absolutely love that platform.
Yeah.
And Twitter has not been as popular. And I don't know what's going to happen with Twitter, because the kids don't use Twitter as much. The kids just don't. It's more of like our age people, and maybe there's like there's a demographic that uses it, and it is not people that are in, it's not the preteens and the teenagers and the college kids. It's more of people our age using Twitter. So I don't know. We're gonna have to just see what happens with Twitter. I don't know. Maybe he can transform it, and it would be lovely to see that if he can transform it into a town square where there's actually elevated discourse. I would love to see that. It would be wonderful to see. God knows he's not going to make any money from it. So let's see if he can actually turn it into something decent,
It's all so crazy. Everything is so crazy right now.
It is crazy. But I'm just very curious to see how long we last on TikTok.
Oh, I know. Same.
Right.
And I don't care either way. Like, I don't think this is not a platform that either of us have ever used with huge intention. So if we get kicked off, if I get kicked off, it's fine.
I've used it for 2 seconds. I just want to be able to
share talks with our people.
Right. I do too. But I'm going to be out there for 2 seconds, and the whole time I'm going to be like boner, 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 boner. That's what I'm going to the whole time. Because now I'm irritated. I mean, I've been on for 5 seconds. Because I was like, fine, we'll do this. And now I'm like, China's suppressing me. And now I'm just going to be like, now I want to poke the bear. You know how I am. So it's on. It is on like Donkey Kong.
TikTok.
Right. It's on.
Speaking of TikTok, we do have some My Pillow talks to share with people today. And these are, of course, the kind that will never get, banned or hit with a community guideline violation, because they're mostly dogs and other funny things. But first, and I think, did I show you the bear? Did I show you the bear closing the door?
No.
Okay. That's the first one I'm going to show then, is the bear closing the door. This is amazing. And of course, how I would be with a bear that came to my house. I'd be like, oh my gosh, come on, I love you.
Yes, I do. Yes, you would.
And somehow, I don't know who this woman is, and I don't know how she got this bear to be responsive to her, but look at this.
Okay. Now, what do we have here? Hello, Mr. Bear.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's a big ass bear.
Can you please?
He's coming in?
Well,
close the door,
only
sweetie.
for a second.
Close the door, hon.
He's like, oh, hell no. You're crazy, lady.
Door,
He's like, I'm going to mess up your rug. I'm taking this.
I'm going to take my rug.
He's like, I'm going to take that with me. Look good in my house.
Going to take my rug?
I need this.
If you take my rug, you're not going to be able to. No, you're not going to be able to close the door.
Why is she scolding him? I would not be scolding a bear. What's wrong with her?
No.
This lady is
crazy.
I'll take the rug back. And you
She's so calm. Like, they clearly have a relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they do. They probably do. She's talking to him probably like she talks to her husband. Okay,
look at, he's fixing the rug.
Close the door, sweetie.
I mean,
and now he's like getting a butt scratch in. He's like, I just want to open the door for a butt scratch.
Just really need to scratch that area. I have. You guys are bothering me. Stop.
Close
I'm trying to watch a bear.
Good
Stop.
boy. Good boy. Close the
She's
door.
praising. She's praising him.
Good boy.
Because she knows him.
Close the door.
He's like, I don't know if I'm yours, lady. I belong to the wild.
What a good boy. What a good boy. What a good boy. What a good boy.
Can you even?
Okay.
What just happened there? Oh my God.
I know. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, they have a relationship. That's crazy.
Oh my God. It's just unreal. Unreal. Okay, it's been a while since we had one of those videos where you see if your husband will match your energy.
Yes. Yes,
time.
It has.
I'm not.
Why?
Oh my God, what is that? What, Kelly? Listen, Kelly! Why are you gonna follow me? Get out, Kelly. You ready to work out? No.
He understood the assignment.
He totally did. Oh my God, that was so great. That was so great. Look at his butt, like right there in the camera.
So funny. All right,
That's
so this
so
next one, you need to know before I show it what the caption says. It says, when your face is innocent, but your body is ... Okay? That's what it says.
Hey, what you watching?
Hey, what you watching there, pervert? Hey, pervs. Hey, weirdos.
Oh my God. I love that guy. I love him so much.
Oh my God.
All right, 2 more, and then it's time to go. The first one is, of course, a very fat husky.
Very gutter. He's like a baritone. More like a baritone. I don't know how they live with them. I don't know how.
Okay, this last one is a guy. This guy who has taken some white people edibles, and he's having a time, you guys.
Okay, all right.
Why do white people make their edibles so strong? What are you running from? Why am I tasting colors? I just wanted to go to Target. Now I gotta call somebody to come get me because my car is headed for a spaceship and I don't know how to fly it. I'm not an astronaut. Yo, I'm so high. But while I'm next to the man, while I'm sitting right next to him, does anybody have any questions for God?
Oh my God. I love that guy.
Oh my God. That is funny. White people
Tasting
edibles.
colors, man.
Yeah, right there. I wonder what purple tastes like.
Anyway,
it tastes like
grape
grape.
Talks today. See,
Tastes
I
like
have
grape,
to have I have to maintain an ability to at least get on TikTok so that I can continue to share those things. So apparently I'm going to have to behave better on our account.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to have to start my own personal account if you get shut down. You know?
Would you?
Well, I mean, if you get shut down, we have to have talks. And so, like, I don't want to have to do this. And you know that I'm going to be angry about it. So it's going to be all these angry talks. It's not going to be good.
Well, I do know that with TikTok, like, you can just use a different email address and start another account. People do it all the time. So I would have a way to at least watch, but I probably would stop making them because what's the point? This is so dumb. You know what I mean?
It's just, it's all, I'm so irritated, you know? Boner. So, you guys.
That's right.
Right. China. The rivers are on fire there. The rivers are on fire.
And whatnot.
You guys bring it in. Everybody bring it in. You know what I'm really happy about today? You know what I'm really happy about is that I'm an American living in America. and I'm not living in China. That's what I'm happy about. Everybody should be grateful, seize the day, make it count. Everybody make it count, make it a fantastic Wednesday, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Have a good